lovelies, how are you all doing today? I hope you're well. Just getting my Tupperware ready. It's a really grotty day here, proper gloaming. That's my action for where's my spoon. Proper gloaming day. We're back to, so it seems, we're back to rain all day, every day. So I've done a big pan of chilli. Some for today, some for tomorrow, some for the freezer. Oh, I can't wait to eat some now. I've just had my lunch, so this is actually supper, but oh, I fancy it. Yeah, I thought I'd go on with making it now because the temperature just dropped quite significantly. It's not icy chilly cold, but I think with the damp it just feels it. So yeah, whoa, lovely portions of chilli. Cook it in the middle of the day, warm the kitchen up a bit before I sit down and have a natter with you all. Just when I finish this off, I found another of my random notes that I make when I hear something or see something and I think, oh, that's interesting. I might talk about it at some point. And once again, this is thanks to QI. I'm not going to explain QI. I'm sure most of you know QI, the TV show. It's kind of like a trivia quiz. I say I'm not going to explain it and then start to explain it. My random little chat moment for today is they did a round on it in which I'm just scraping out the very last of the pan. They did a round on it and it was all based on, don't worry, I'm not gonna be naughty. It was all about swear words and their distribution in the United States. I know it sounds a bit random, doesn't it? But for example, so we'd see a map and there'd be areas highlighted in really sort of bright blue. And I'm not explaining this very well. It's basically different words are used in different areas as somewhat kind of cuss words, if you like. And I was a bit mortified because one of them was a word I use all the time. And so the reason I'm mentioning it today is because I know I have quite a lot of viewers in the States. You make up, I think it's about a quarter of my viewers. So this particular word that I use all the time, it's for me, it's a word of exclamation, and it's almost like it's a shortened way of saying goodness me, as in wow. It's a sort of wow word. The word is gosh. I use the word a lot. Gosh, or gosh, that's expensive, or gosh, that's cheap. Yeah, it's just an expression of exclamation that's sort of like wow or goodness me. So I use it a lot, but I've now since discovered that in some parts of these states it's considered a cuss word. So I'm really sorry if I've ever offended anyone by saying gosh. In the UK it is not a cuss word, it's just an exclamation of sort of surprise, wow. Anyway, right, these are quite big portions. 6 portions. I'm going to go and put them on the marble slab to cool. Actually, one can stay out, but I'm going to have that tonight. The rest, they'll go on the marble slab to cool, and then 4 can go in the freezer, and 1 can stay out for supper in a couple of nights' time. I'm really glad I did that. It's just that kind of slightly warming up the kitchen with the cooking, but also the prospect of lovely bowl of food. Yay! Yum, can't wait to get my laughing gear around that portion later on. Now, talking of laughing gear getting round things, I got it open! My lovely juice, I think from Carla. Put your hand up if it was you, Carla. Yeah, perseverance, perseverance. I kept doing all the tricks I know, just repeat those tricks until finally, moment, can't wait to try it. I was thinking actually, hang on, I'm going to pour myself a glass. I haven't had it in the fridge, but honestly the kitchen's been so cold, it's not needed it. I was thinking though that actually it might be nice warmed up. Here goes. That is blooming gorgeous. So it's peach, apricot and apple. It's a pressed juice, so not constant. Excuse me. What was I saying? Ah, yes, so pressed. So squeeze that lovely juice out of them. Organic. Anyway, that is really, really lovely. Cheers. Do I want to know the calories? In 100 mils, it's that 21 calories. That's not too bad. Of course, the big thing. This is a treat. This is going to be a treat over the next. It says once opened, use within 3 days. That'll probably be gone in 2 days. I say it's a treat because, of course, the sugars are so high. Obviously there's sugar in fruit anyway, and I eat fruit, but when you're eating whole fruit, of course, you're getting the fibre as well, and it helps slow down that kind of woo of the body's reaction to the sugar. But as a bit of a treat, yeah, cheers. Thank you, I think, Carla. Whoever it was who sent it, thank you. That's lovely. And it reminds me of something else that was in my random basket the other day. I was talking about this with my friend Jan ages and ages and ages ago, and it's one of those kind of little kind of grumpy, grouchy things that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's this. Watching a TV show or film, and it seems to be particularly prevalent in cop shows. The coffee cups, you know, there's always someone who's gone, oh, I'll go out and get the coffee, and they come back with the coffee. And those cups clearly have nothing in them. It's endemic in TV shows. There's clearly not a hot liquid in. The way you handle a cup with hot liquid, you know, firstly you're careful when you hand it over to someone, and then when you put it to your lips and you drink, after having a mouthful, you then need to swallow. But the number of times I see them do and then carry on talking straight away. Coffee cup acting and coffee cup props people who do props for film and TV. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hot cup of coffee that you put in there, but can you put some liquid in, maybe just water, so that they've got weight to them, so that when they're being passed or when someone's lifting it up. I told you it was a very, very silly little thing, but it's the kind of thing I notice. And when I was having a chat with my friend Jan, she notices it too. I don't know how we got onto the subject, but we both said, yeah, it really drives me nuts. You see, now that I've mentioned it, if you've never noticed it before, I bet you'll be noticing coffee cups now. Right, enough of that. So, in the meantime, my new deodorant has arrived. Yay! So this is the Earth Conscious deodorant. I went for Indian bay leaf and orange. It smells lovely. So it's in a cardboard tube. It's quite satisfying. And then there's like a push up underneath, so you can push a little bit up proud of the cardboard edge. It smells gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful smell. So, like I said in a previous video, I'm sure as soon as I get it, I'm going to want to try it. So I've only used it a couple of times, and I'm really pleased with how it works. So obviously I love the scent, obviously because I've just said so. Really, really love the scent. Haven't tried any of the others yet. But it's got to be more than just a nice smell, hasn't it? It's got to work as a deodorant, and it has worked perfectly for me. So as a deodorant, yay! The smell, Yay, and ease of application, because that's really important too. So yeah, what could be easier than pushing up and getting on with the job? So far, so good. Now, as for costing, I said that this one cost £10. And at the time I thought, gosh, that's quite a bit more than Wild. However, you can feel it as soon as you get it out of the packet. And I looked at this even before I'd got it through the post. There's way more weight to this than in one of the Wilds. So I've done the maths for us. This is 90 grams. A Wild refill is 40 grams. This is £10. The Wild refills are £6. Yes, you can get them on offer. You can get 3 for 2, that sort of thing. But just going by their standard retail price. If a Wild deodorant contained as much deodorant as this one does, it would actually cost £13.50. So with this, we're getting more than double what I used to get in the old Wild refills. Making it even simpler, price per gram. This is 11 pence and a Wild refill is 15 pence per gram. So my initial thing of, oh gosh, it's more expensive. Actually, it should last longer, and effectively it's cheaper. This should last me, I would say, 2.5 months. Wild refill used to last me about a month. So, as I also previously mentioned, so I'm definitely going to have it again. I'm really happy I found my new deodorant. Yay! I've still got my current Wild and one more refill to use up, but I'm chuffed. I've got my new deodorant sorted out. It's all cardboard packaging. It comes from a company literally, I mean, how many miles? It's just a few miles across the water onto the Isle of Wight. So from the Isle of Wight to the Isle of Purbeck, brilliant. In terms of price going forward, if I was to buy 3 in one go, there'd be no postage. So at the moment I paid £3.90 on postage. Oh, I still haven't found out if they're stocked anywhere. I certainly haven't seen them stocked in Swanage, so I might just have to do the Postal. They also offer the subscription, and I'll certainly look into that because that usually brings the price down as well. And as and when I get to that, I reckon, so the Wilds go to the end of January, then I've got the other Wild to take me to the end of February, March, April. I reckon it won't be till about mid-May before I'm looking into this again, but I'll certainly tell you, because I think, you know, I know a lot of you are wanting to have these kind of swaps in your life to get rid of the plastic, find something a bit more local, less miles and all that. When I did look at the subscription thing, I think there are options for every month or every 2 months. So I might be a bit awkward. I might fall between 2 and 3 months. We'll see. Anyway, I will use it. I will enjoy. So far, I mean, like I said, I've used it a couple of days. The smell is gorgeous. I wish I could do. Someone's going to invent scratch and sniff at some point, aren't they, for telly, videos, films, what have you. Oh gosh, it's gorgeous. Anyway, so that's the deodorant so far. What else today? Oh yes, a video to share. Oh my goodness, a DVD, I mean, video. 80s head still on, or 90s head. This is a film. Oh, it's so Moorish, that juice. The different flavours are really quite well balanced. It sort of hits at different moments, but the last hit that comes through is the apple. It's really lovely. I wonder what that would be like, a mould. Honestly, at the moment, I'm looking out the window. I don't know if you can hear in the background, my boiler has kicked in because I thought, stuff it, I'm putting the heating on for another 2 extra hours today, this afternoon. Because I think with all the rain, that dampness, it just sort of, I don't know, it just makes my bones fed up. So I thought, yeah, let's have the heating on. So I'm looking out the kitchen window and I can just see the rain coming down in sheets, and then the steam, the condensation, whatever that the boiler makes, drifting past the window. It's like I've got a dragon snoring in the garden. Anyway, back to this DVD. This is a film I went to the pictures to watch in 1996. It's a little independent foreign film. I went to see it with my bestie Sarah. She was like, we were sort of cinema buddies. We liked the same sort of thing, so it's always a lot. I mean, I like going to the cinema on my own actually, sitting in especially for a matinee. There's something so naughty and luxurious about sitting in the cinema in the afternoon on your own when you should be at work. But the nice thing about going with someone else, of course, is that when you come out, you can kind of share the experience with someone. Anyway, so I went to see it in 1996 and I loved it, and I've wanted to watch it again ever since. I've never seen it being shown on TV. I've not seen it being rerun at any of the... There is a handful of they're called the Picture House. It's like a chain of small independent cinemas in London that I used to go to, and they show older films sometimes, reruns of this type of thing. And in all the time I've been keeping an eye out for the DVD of it in charity shops. I've kept my eye out for so long. I'm not going to go online and do that because that's too easy, isn't it? There's no kind of anticipation in it. Anyway, I found this just before I left London at my absolute fave charity shop. So obviously there was someone in the neighbourhood who had similar taste to me. Great. And I finally got around to watching it last night. What a treat. Shut up talking, Vivi. What's the video? What's the DVD? I watched again. Kolya. Oh my goodness. Who knows it? Hands up if you know Kolya. So it's set in Prague. So just as a heads up, the language spoken in the film is Czech and some Russian, but it's subtitled, of course. In a nutshell, we've got this guy who's got, you can see there's a child's hands over his eyes. He's a 50-something man. He plays cello. He's never quite made it to the Philharmonic, but that's what he wants to do. He's currently playing for funerals. He's a confirmed bachelor, I think is the phrase we would use. Bit of a womanizer. Bit of a, he's always looking out for a woman, and he's obviously had lots of girlfriends and rings them up. Oh, I'm on my own. I miss you. And it's the same line to all the different women. So yeah, he's definitely a bachelor. And a child comes into his life. This beautiful, look at that little boy. This is Kolya. The kid is called Kolya. I won't tell you exactly how the child comes into his life because that's quite a big premise of the film. And it's, in a way, it's a similar feel to it to, Goodbye Mr. Tom. Do you know Goodbye Mr. Tom? There was a brilliant film adaptation for TV done with John Thor playing Mr. Tom. And a child is evacuated to stay with Mr. Tom. And he doesn't want a kid in his life, he doesn't like kids. So it's the same with Mr. Luca. He's got no time for kids. He's too busy trying to earn a living. I mean, he's broke. He's trying to earn his own. I should have said as well, it's set in 1988, so it's slap bang in the middle of Gorbachev, perestroika, the beginnings of the end of communism. So that's kind of the backdrop to the film. Really brilliantly done. But anyway, so he ends up with this little boy in his life, and he's just, I'll give you another look. He's just adorable. Where did they find this child actor? He's about 5 in the film. The character is 5 years old. I don't know if the actor is 4, 5, 6. No, and I think he's 4 or 5. But absolutely brilliant. And essentially, it's a film about this guy's heart beginning to melt and ultimately thinking about someone else other than himself. It's so beautiful, it's so touching. You'll need your hanky a couple of times probably. couple of particularly beautiful moments. There's the first moment where they hold hands is just like, oh, what are you doing to me? It's like you've just pulled my heart out of my chest and messed with it. But the one scene, and I remembered the scene so remember, I haven't seen this film for 25 plus 4, 29, I haven't seen this film for 29 years. And there's one scene that I remembered so clearly, and it's the scene where in the cinema it made me and my friend Sarah sob. And it's the scene, again, I won't say too much, but those of you who know the film will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the moment when the little boy's having his bath and he's got the shower head. And he's using the shower head as if it was a telephone to make a call. It's incredibly touching, incredibly moving, and towards the end, I won't give the ending away, but yeah, it's a roller coaster at the end. Yeah, handkerchiefs at the ready, but I highly recommend it. Kolya. I don't know how easy it will be for any of you to find. It might be that there's tons of DVDs that you can just find online, but like I said, I have a mental list of things that I'm on the lookout for all the time. And it's same with books. It would be so easy to go online and just find it and buy it, but where's the fun? You don't have the hunt then, and when you have waited so long for something, it makes it all the more of a joyous occasion to go, yeah, I finally found it. So yeah, oh, Be Still My Heart, incredibly touching. I adored it. It's, you know, so much of it though, it's about that child actor, because you just want to hold him and love him and tell him that everything's going to be okay and protect him and just envelop him with love. Oh, goodness me. Gosh, I'm getting a bit thinking about it again. Hang on, I need a glurp. No, that's a new word, glurp. That's a slurp and a gulp all together. I'm having a glurp. So, also, I've got so many notes in this. This is one of my treats for a tenner books. On the Slow Train, Michael Williams. Before I get too excited, 12 Great British Railway Journeys. I loved it. It was fabulous. Now, it's a little bit nerdy in places, as in train nerdy. For example, he might talk about the class of engine. Now, I don't know any of that stuff, so it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. It was a joy to read. Essentially, he's taking 12 of the smaller lines around the country. What? Oh yeah, I've got notes in here. Yeah, he takes 12 of the smaller lines around the country. Lines with, and some of them are, you know, sort of near towns and cities. It's not necessarily just the countryside. And just enjoys wallowing in, you know, British countryside, British architecture, the architecture of the railways themselves and the railway buildings. There's social history in there. There's sort of, you know, obviously the Industrial Revolution had a lot to answer for in terms of where our trains and tracks went. But there's a real deep nostalgia with it as well. There's a sort of pangs for things that have gone. So he's coming from it, I think, from the point of view of someone who remembers steam travel. And a lot of these routes were steam routes. I mean, the whole network was steam originally. Some of these routes still have steam on them occasionally. They're not necessarily heritage lines. But anyway, so that's his point of view. But there were so many little things mentioned, and I thought, actually, that's gone, and even in just the last few years. So, I mean, right, hang on a tick. Sorry, that's better. I need to blow my nose, but I also thought I'm going to look for my notes, because I know I made notes as I was going through, and I can't find them. Never mind. yes, it's talking about things that have gone that I miss, and it's, you know, simple things like whistles. So even at the station when I used to go down to Auntie Teapot's, so I'd get my train from my station in London to a train, not to a station, only 4 or 5 stops along, because my station in London's kind of like a bit of a branch line, if you like. Then I used to change at Bromley South in Kent, just at the beginning of Kent, and then go all the way out down to Westgate-on-Sea. And even there, they're still, you know, when the train's ready to go, guard with the whistle, gives it, you know, that's a really bad whistle impression, but you know what I mean, they make it do that kind of like up and then a little trill. And they've been replaced with the, you know, they still have the paddles, but they're like digital LED things. So something as simple as the whistle has gone. The other day in that other video I was mentioning about platform tickets have gone. Things like, do you remember, and again, I'm not talking about before the blooming war, I'm not that old, but even, I don't know when the last ones disappeared, maybe in the 90s, in the early noughties, but what would you call them? Luggage trolleys. So you might get off at, I don't know, Euston. I hate Euston. Euston's the ugliest station in the world. Let's say we got off at King's Cross. I can't remember seeing any in recent years, but you could get a luggage trolley, rather like a supermarket trolley. You know, you put your pound coin in, get the trolley out, put all your, you know, if you're a family of 3 or 4 travelling on the train, you're going to have tons of bags. You put it all in the luggage trolley, take it outside to either the bus stop or the taxi rank, fill the taxi up with your bags, put the trolley back in one of the trolley parks. Are there luggage trolleys anymore? I can't remember the last time I saw a luggage trolley. Anyway, all these bits and bobs. So yeah, there's a huge element of, and even things like, this is a big one for me. Actually, this ties in with, I'm going to put a little clip in here of the railway at Swanage. We popped over there when Richard and Paul were visiting. We popped over one afternoon to watch this one, Run VT. Such a sweet little moment, and I had this weird emotional response to it. I was on the verge of tears, and I know not why, but so was Richard. He kind of picked it up, not from me, but he had that moment of, oh, our emotions. And it's something to do, I think, with partly just the simplicity of it, of what makes us happy, but it's the folk on the train. They were waving as they pulled out, and we were all waving too. This is ridiculous. It makes me emotional even now, but we're waving to them. And it reminded me, like when the steamship Waverley, the paddle steamer, came to Swanage, and as it was docking, we were all on the pier waving, and the people on the boat were waving back to us. It was just so simple and sweet. It's the railway children, isn't it? Waving to trains. We don't wave to intercities anymore. We don't wave to intercities or the Pendolinos, whatever those new fast ones are. But little ones by the sea maybe, or in the countryside, yes, wave at them. But it was another thing that's gone from trains now that I really miss, and it's opening windows. Especially on the doorway. I used to love, I still, at Swanage Railway, it's one of my favourite sounds, is the clunk of the heavy doors when they clunk closed, instead of these Star Trek doors. But the old doors, closing them, they had a window. The window would pull right down and you'd lean out to open the door. But more than anything, because there's that window to open, if you're being seen off on the train by your lover and they've got their platform ticket, they can come and you're on the train, but you pull the window down and you've got those last couple of seconds with the love of your life, and you can have a smooch out of the window and the train starts and you don't want to let go of holding hands, and then the train's gone. All of these lovely, lovely things, they've gone. There's no windows, there are no platform tickets, you can't smooch someone as the train's leaving the station. Even so, I still love train travel. So if you are nostalgic, romantic, if you're an idiot like me, I think you'd really enjoy it. There's so much in it where I was going, yes, I know. Oh, I know that route. There's one chapter, he's up in Cumbria, on the coast in Cumbria. But he starts off, he's talking about Britain's most famous stretches of coastal railway, two of the most beautiful ones, and he talks about the line from Durham to Berwick, and that is one of my absolute all-time favourite railway journeys. Durham to Berwick, with those beautiful white sand beaches that stretch for miles. It's freezing cold, it's the North Sea, but beautiful. And of course, he carries on, back on the East Coast Main Line, and then along the Great Western Main Line at Dawlish in Devon. Of course, that's another of my favourite rail journeys, but specifically when you get to Dawlish and the train gets splashed by the sea, it's amazing. But he reckons this one in Cumbria is as good as those two. So I'm reading it thinking, oh, I need a train holiday. I don't want to go anywhere, I just want to go on that particular route, on that particular train. And then the other one that got me a bit excited, he was talking about Victoria Station in London, which was my station. Well, where I lived in southeast London, in Sydenham, there are two stations I could use. One goes up towards Tower Bridge, and the other one goes into Victoria. So the other one I used to use when I worked at the bookshop. And platform 2 at Victoria was always the platform for the boat train to Paris. So before Eurostar, before the tunnel, that's where I always took the train to Paris. So you get on the train at Victoria, it takes you down to Dover, and you disembark right next to the boat, get onto the boat, disembark from the boat, straight on the train into Paris. I can't remember now how long it used to take. It felt like all day, but you don't care because it's like, I'm on my way to Paris. And even now, platform 2 is the platform where they do special excursions from. So the Orient Express, they do a bit of a run of that. In other words, it's the platform where if there's going to be a steam train on a main line coming out of London, it's going to be leaving from platform 2 at Victoria. And it's the most incongruous but giddy-making thing to be arriving into Victoria at sort of 8:15 in the morning as a commuter. You know, everyone's diving off the trains in their suits and their smart clothes, or me, scruffy clothes, because I'm going to work in a dusty, dirty bookshop. But you've got all these commuters piling into Victoria, and then they see a steam train, and suddenly everyone turns into a 5-year-old. It's like, have I got time before I dive down onto the tube network to just pop around to platform 2 and go and look at this gorgeous steam train? What is it about steam trains that just makes so many of us go a bit weak at the knees and a bit... It's that kind of happy nostalgia, even for those of us, me included, who are too young to remember steam. Steam was long gone by the time I was taking trains. Like I said, once again, I'm not that old. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a really, really, why have I, oh, and that's the other thing. This is a kind of bucket list thing for me. I don't have a bucket list. If I did have a bucket list though, I mean, I always wanted to do the Trans-Siberian, but, I mean, I've been all over Europe on trains, but that's it, just within Europe. But my bucket list would be a sleeper train. I'm just slobbing because I'm so excited about it. Yeah, a sleeper train. And you know, maybe that's one of the reasons I quite like Agatha Christie, because of course she was taking the train from London down to Cornwall so frequently. So many of her mysteries are either set on trains, or the person gets to where they're going, where the mystery is going to happen by train. But yeah, a sleeper train. I believe the only two that are still running, there's only one that's entirely in England, and that's from, I think it goes from Paddington all the way down to Penzance in Cornwall. And the other one, of course, there are sleeper trains up to Scotland, and one of the chapters covers he takes the sleeper train to Mallaig. Well, it's not, you don't go all the way through, I think you have to change. Does he change at Glasgow or Aberdeen? Maybe the sleeper train goes all the way through to Aberdeen. But yeah, it got me all kind of like, ooh, and you know, just being so happy and grateful that I live in a place with such a gorgeous station. I'll never, 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 never tire of it. Yeah. Tickets and whistles, cardboard tickets. Bring back cardboard tickets. Cardboard tickets that then end up being a bookmark. And then the book gets finished and gets put back on the shelf, and a few years later you're looking at that book and a ticket falls out and you go, oh, I remember that trip. But you don't get the tickets. It's all on people's smartphones these days, isn't it? I still buy a ticket without a smartphone, but it's like a weird printout these days. It's not the same. Anyway, it was supposed to be a quickie today. I just wanted to catch you up, apart from anything about the deodorant. And we've been all around the houses and we've been on the trains, and yeah, a jolly good time was had by all. I say bring back waving at trains. Bring back snogging at train stations as someone departs. Or, you know, if you're not in the mood for snogging, at least let's bring back waving. Wave at trains, wave at boats, wave at people. There's just something adorable about it, I think. I don't think I'm alone in that, am I? Right, lovelies, I'm going to shut up. What am I going to do? I've got things to do. Get back to work. I will catch up with you again soon. It won't be outside, I don't think. It looks like this is set in for a couple of weeks now. Never mind, eh? There's always plenty to do indoors. I've got a project. I was going to say I might get the sewing machine out. It might not be with you. Oh, I've got the Instant Pot to hand. You might have seen that already. That might be coming up. There'll always be something to do and get on with. So I will bid you a fond farewell for now. I think I'm going to have another glass of that. It's really moreish. And yeah, see you for the next one, whenever the next one is. See you then. Until then, stay snug if you can, and look after yourselves. Otherwise, cheerio.